Okay, let's talk about animation tab in motion camera. This animation tab. As you can see, we have an spline that you can customize it, and as you can see, if you open it, your person or motion camera is going travel through this spline, and you can enable or disable it. If you disable it, the motion camera is snapping to the word of the software, and it just placing there and it does not move. But if you enable it, you can uh, move your camera along this spline with the camera position A, because as you can see in a default setup, we have a default spline here that if you select this tag, you can move along that with the position A. And as you can see, you can move very simple. You can animate it first, click here to animate, then second, bring your timeline there and move it in this direction. And then you can keyframe it again. And as you can see, it moves there. Very simple. You can move your camera, and as you can see, it always look at this target here, that you can select a target and move it if you want. But for controlling this speed, you can open all of this triangle here, all of this option here. If you open here, you can see the setting of this spline that you insert. It's always in Cinema 4D. But here you can open, and this is familiar graph editor. I explain it in detail. You can search my channel from Cinema 4D graph editor, and you can see it's linear. It goes in a linear speed, or you can right click and you can add a sign. It means it's, as you can see, it's go fast, then vice versa. I explained them all in detail. Your cubic, as you can see, is small and then go fast. It's going slow and then going fast. This is our graph editor. Anywhere in Cinema 4D open there, you can control the parameter of, for example, movement here with a curve. This is graph editor in Cinema 4D. It's very powerful. So you have your pass here that you can simply go select your pass and draw your pass or edit it. For example, I changed this to explain something called tangent. As you can see, we have a curve and tangent pass here going to our camera. And as you can see, I want to explain the tangential option here. If you move your camera, didn't animate it. Yeah, I deleted. If you move your camera, as you can see, it's travel along the tangent, bending. For example, if you bring it and move here, and as you can see, it's turning according the tangent of your spline. But if you turn it off, it's go just up vector directly, and it does not bend. And as you can see, it does not rotate or bend. It's just straight, travel straight. But if you turn on the tangency, it's travel along your curve. That's nice. You can create your own path. You can come here, for example, from the top. We can go to spline pen. This is the beginning of the pen. Click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, and then double click. Escape to end. Deselect it. Select it again. Click and drag, click and drag. You can draw any path that you want. This is our second. As you can see, this is first of the path. The motion camera is snapping at the first zero spline and then going to the end. Okay, we have two paths here. You can select this path A, path B, And for better organization, please insert them below there. And then going to the tag, you can define the path number A. It's very simple. This is our path, and you can travel your camera in a camera position A. You can delete the keyframe by holding Ctrl Shift click. I will explain the animation, don't worry. And as you can see, we have path A, it's the main rail and main path and its rail. I explain it now. And this is a path spline B. You can insert second path and it's turn on the position B. And as you can see, you can change it along the position A, but if you change the position B, it does not work because here you have to decide it blend between A and B. If you want, as you can see, if you make it increase exactly 100%, it means this camera going to the rail B, and then you can change the camera position B and it's going along that. If you make it half, it means it's going in between two rails. As you can see, it's more confusing, but don't use it. 100% or 0. 0 means it's going to the rail B. 100% means you can control it in rail 2. You can define. Intensity means the power of this position. It means if you in intensity is 100%, this camera is exactly go along this. But if you make it decrease a number, lower number, as you can see, it does not exactly follow the curve. It's a strength of the following of the camera to do your spline. It's defining this. If you make it 0, it's go exactly at the center and it does not work. It's the intensity of that. So as you can see, we have two rail and you can control it. Okay, select and delete our rail, and from the top, I create a simple, I can delete it, simple line. Yeah, we have a simple line for our path. This is, I call it path. It's our main path. Going to the object, holding Alt and click and drag to copy and call it rail. And bring both of them under the motion camera. Going to the tag, define the path. As you can see, it's snapping to its path and change the position like that. And you can introduce your rail. Bring your rail and move it a little above. The rail is controlling the up vector rotation of your camera. Look at what happened if I rail to the spline A, B, B. Okay, rail B, A. And now it's defined. Now, as you can see, if you move it and then select your rail, and as you can see, you can change the direction of your rail. As you can see, your camera is exactly look at your rail and rotating. So the rail is controlling the rotation of your camera along your main path. So this is the rail. Okay, this is all about the spline. Let's talk about target. Okay, you can delete it and insert a completely new default motion camera. This is a target that you select it and you can move it. As you can see, it's always targeting, the camera is targeting this. It's a simple null object. You can change the shape. I explained it before, but if you click on a tag, or you can go to the motion camera and it's a motion. It's better to select in this. Go to the target, you can enable or disable it. If you disable it, it's just look at straight and does not change. And if you go to spline and move it, as you can see, it just look at the exactly straight at the eye of this, does not look at the target. And if you move, and as you can see, you can It's sometimes the disabling is nice. It's exactly. But if you go in and here and enable it again, it's always look at the camera. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. And here you can compensate aberration from your target if you want. As you see, as you can see, we have target A, 1, 2, B2. You can use 4 targets exactly like you move. And it's very easy. We call it target A1. We can duplicate it and call A2 and select it and bring it somewhere here. So you can target the dot. You can make it a circle. Yeah, it's nice. Or you can make it circles of A2. And I want to exactly duplicate them and 4 of them. As you can see, we have 2 of them here. Call it B1. Call it B2. B1 is dot again, make it a circle, and we have 4 target there, and we can control of targeting our camera to these 4. These 4 target. Target A, it's in position. Target A2, target B1, target B2, and I explain up vector. It's very simple. As you can see, all of these settings is turned on, and you can change the position of the target from A1 to A2. You can change it position, animate it. It's just changing the targeting. Or as you can see, you can change the position B2, B8 B1 to B2, and it does not work because you have to blend or change the position of the targeting to the A category or to the B category. I change it to the B category 100%, and now you can control it's going to the B1 and B2, and you can morph between 1 and 2 and animate it. It's sometimes useful, you can use it. Bring back, oh, that's intensity. As you can see, if you make it 0, it does not, it's actually disabling the target. Disabling the target, it's look at straight. 100%. We can control the strength of this comment here. Bring it back to the A. And what's the up vector? Up vector here is actually a rail. It's working like a rail. For example, you can insert another object here. Anything that you want. Another null object if you want. I want to explain it with this simple object that's in this way. Mirroring it exactly in this position. If you rotate your camera, it's rotate around this, not rotating, changing the position. Select, bring this coin, click and drag the up vector, and look at when you move from this position to this position. As you can see, the rotation of the camera respects to the up vector of this. Nice. As you can see, the rotation of the camera is depend on this up vector. So it's not need to use all of them. You can clear, and you can directly control the rotation of your camera with up vector independently. This is an all about target. Let's talk about these 2 settings. Chase object is very interesting. Let's begin from scratch. Bring another, and it's chasing objects. It's like a virtual rope. That's when you, for example, select a sphere here. We have a sphere. Nice. We have a sphere, and with a virtual rope, we connect this sphere to this camera, and it's follow. But the important thing for chasing object is that you have to clear. You don't need to delete target or the path. Clear the path and clear the target. It's very important because we have to release our camera from the target and its path to chasing this, to allow to chase. Bring it there and go into the camera and close it and enable the chase object, and you have to introduce a link object to your camera. I want to link this sphere to our camera, and as you can see it's linked to that. But if you want to this, you can use the target but with this object, not that node. And as you can see it's targeting always this. And nice, it's always chasing. Nice. Then close it. For seeing a chasing, you have to play. For seeing the chase, you have to play. Let's increase the number of the frame. And as you can see, if you move this object, your camera is chasing your. We have a virtual rope that is camera is chasing this object. You can the maximum distance means the length of that rope, like this. As you can see, it's always chasing our. You have to play. Don't forget, you have to play. It's always chasing our. And if we go back, as you can see, it's you can control this minimum by a number. And as you can see, if coming back, it does not allow to uh, snapping to our object like this. This distance is minimum. This jumping is about finishing this timeline. Imagine a virtual rope with this distance from the camera to this chase object, and the minimum. It does not allow to exactly hit this object to this camera. You can select a minimum distance. Yeah, this is minimum distance, and this is if we reach the maximum distance, it will chase your camera. Nice. Okay, this is an chasing. You can do a lot of interesting. At the end of the tutorial for camera, I have some example, an idea about the camera, and I explain all of them more. I let the enable chase object. I want to explain automatic banking. It's very interesting. Insert a circle, make it as bigger, and I want to. That's nice. Now, this object is chasing by camera, and I want to this object animate around this circle. Make it smaller. So for doing that, I have to use a tag called animation tag, align to the spline. It means I explain the tags, don't worry, I will explain them, but you can align this object around this circle in settings. And as you can see, it's snap. With the position, you can animate it if you want. So I animate it in this frame and going to that frame and animate it 100% and animate it again. And as you can see, our object is moving and the camera is, I think I have to make it a bigger. Yeah, it's better. And as you can see, our camera is chasing around this circle, and because we linked the chase object, it's moving with that. I need a little smaller and align to the camera and make it faster and make it 100 again to simply. Okay, as you can see, this camera is moving, but it's straight forward, and as you can see, it does not bending. The automatic chasing, in a simple um, explanation, is that it's like a motorcycle. When your motorcycle is turning in bending street, it's automatically bend itself, and this option doing that. Unlock it. First, you have to activate it and add a density to that. Oh, and as you can see, it's rotating. Its density is too high, 5. And as you can see, it's bending itself. You can go to the view of that. As you can see, we have a slightly bending to a position. When it's want to rotate in this circle, it's bending itself. This is automatic bend. It's actually dynamic, real dynamic behavior of the camera when it's rotating. Look at. As you can see, when it's want to rotate this circle, it's bending itself, changing the actually banking. It's called automatic banking, and you can dampening if it's rotating and dancing. You can add a damp to that, but be careful about this density. Higher number, it's make it it's dancing around, rotating, but a 5 is nice. And as you can see, it like a motorcycle, it's bending itself when to want to rotate. But if you deactivate it, as you can see, it's going straight. It's going straight, and it does not bending at the this part of circle. Nice. And this is the last setting of animation. The animation tab is very important. Okay, let's go to dynamic. Hello my friends, to continue these tutorials on YouTube, subscribe us, like us, and hit the bell icon. And now you will be alerted about all of the amazing videos that we release.